welcome to my channel. My name is Billy, and in this video I'm going to share a little bit about my meditation practice and a few inspirational, motivational books to get your mind right so you can achieve all of those goals you set for yourself for this new year. So if that interests you, keep watching. So I try to meditate every morning before I start my day. And ideally, that looks like 10 to 15 minutes of meditation, about 5 minutes of journaling, and then maybe 10 minutes of reading from an inspirational book. So depending on the day, I will modify this. So some days I can only meditate for 5 minutes, or I can only do like meditation and journaling. I don't have time to read, but I try to tell myself something is better than nothing. After I'm done, I'm always happy that I took that moment for myself. And I find that as I go through the day, I am kinder, I am able to handle the unexpected better, and overall I'm just more productive. So I really believe meditating is great for you. As I mentioned, as part of my meditation practice, I like to read a few pages from a inspirational book, and typically it will take me a few months to get through the book, but it's less about getting through the book quickly and more so about taking in what I'm reading and applying it to my life. So I thought I would just share some of those books that I've used and I found inspirational. First, I'll start by sharing some shorter books. If you're not really into meditation and you just want an inspirational book, then I think these are books that you could definitely get through quickly, even in a day. So first, I have The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I first read this in my early 20s. I am very much a planner and I don't like when things don't go to plan. And I feel like this is a book that just came at the right time because it showed me like I had to let things go and that I couldn't control everything. And in this book, Ruiz says that like 95% of the beliefs you have are lies. And he gives like these four agreements or four principles to kind of break those beliefs that you have that aren't serving you and that are holding you back. The first agreement: be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. And I found this book so helpful, and I've read it several times over the years, and this is a book I always come back to, and it's the book that kind of started me on my, I would say, woo-woo book journey. So yeah, this is like an OG for me. Next, this book is an inspirational book, more so if for like moving forward in your career or moving forward professionally, or if you're starting like an entrepreneurial journey. This is a good book for inspiration. I also read this in my early 20s, and as a creative I really enjoyed it. He talks about how most people are mediocre and you just have to put in the effort, you have to believe in yourself, and you can succeed. So I think this is a good book if you're needing some inspiration for your career or professionally. Next, I have The How by Yersa Dali Ward. I actually just read this last year and I really enjoyed it. This is a very relatable, down-to-earth book. Yersa gives it to you in layman terms. This is a good book just to check in with yourself and ask yourself questions like, how do I feel? What do I think about that? I think this is just a good book to check in with yourself. Now I will talk about some longer books, or books that I feel that need more time to digest. First book I'm going to talk about is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. This isn't a particularly long book, but it is definitely very philosophical. I think to really take this book in and apply it to your life, you just have to sit with it for a bit. So to give you an example, I'll just read a little excerpt. He says, true meditation is beyond the act of simple, one-pointed concentration. For the deepest meditation, you must not only have the ability to focus your consciousness completely on one subject, you must also have the ability to make awareness itself be that object. In the highest state, the focus of consciousness is turned back to the self. It's very much a lot of that. I think this is just another great book to check in with yourself and not only have a goal, but know why you want that goal. And is the reason you want that goal like centered in authenticity to yourself, or is it centered in like some external value that you're telling yourself you want to achieve that? The next book I want to talk about is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. This is another one that's more so for like creatives or for like professional inspiration. In this book, she talks about creativity, and she often gives examples from her own life. And one thing I remember when I read this is she talks about this idea of inspiration leaving us if we don't do anything with it. And it made me think of like, you'll see some new product or a new invention and you'll think, I thought about that, or I thought of that like years ago, but you didn't do anything with it. So it found somebody who would. But she says that's okay, because ideas are always passing through us and they're always coming to us, and they're just looking for a human. Ideas are always looking for a human collaborator to bring them to life. Great book, I think, if you are a creative and you're needing some creative inspiration. And finally, I want to talk about the book I am currently reading as part of my meditation practice, and that is Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. He shares his wisdom he gained from his time as a monk, and he puts it into very digestible, practical application. Right now, I'm reading about being present. He talks about how when we are at work, we're thinking about that vacation we want to take, and then when we get on vacation, we think about, oh, that thing I should have done for work. I'm someone who definitely has the habit of thinking about, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I'm making an effort to change that and really being in the moment that I'm in. He talks about to live a full life, you really have to be present in the moment that you are in right now. I'm really enjoying this book. I've tabbed it quite a bit. I'm about probably halfway through. All right, so I hope you found that interesting. Many of these are books that I refer back to throughout the year, that I have read several times over. I just hope you found them helpful and you can apply some of the principles in these books to your own life. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.